All right. Failures. Failures down the line.
Failures down the line. I think we will address those failures in a second.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do, like one tiny bit there, which is you hear the sound of Captain Lamond clearing her throat behind you, as you realize you just said all of this and she's heard it all. And now let's cut back to Uset. And these two guys, who are clearly from all of their language indicating that they are going to do violence to you or do other,
And even if they aren't, I'm paranoid, so I assume that they will.
Everything about them strikes you as uncivilized, uncouth, and violent in nature.
And this is why she has asked them for the time,
right?
As a way of kind of checking, like, oh, are you fancy gentlemen with pocket watches, or are you people who are like, oh, I don't know.
Exactly. And so so like one of them kind of looks. The moon is just a small sliver in the sky. Is like, it's late, too late for you to be out. Like there's no. They would not think to look for a pocket watch because they don't own one, right? Like and they're not good enough at impersonating somebody to be like, oh, hold on. So you.
And then without any warning, I'm going to kick the one in front of me in the nuts and then stab the other one in the heart behind me.
Awesome. All right. So they're accomplished toughs. You have an element of surprise, but it's not utter surprise. Like they were expecting to.
They're kind of ready for something, yeah.
Right. They were certainly ready for you to run. They definitely were ready if you were gonna bolt, but they maybe weren't expecting you to go on the aggressive. So I think that they're a little surprised.
Straight to murder too.
She's like a tiny lady.
Yeah.
And going to mess these guys up.
And you're and they outnumber you. So I think it's risky limited. You have the element of surprise, but they're well equipped and there's more than they beat you on scale.
Well, let's make it desperate standard.
Desperate standard?
For starters. You got any devil's bargains for me?
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to make a lot of noise and potentially get some attention that will later on, that you'll later on have to account for, like what you're doing at 2 a.m. in Charter Hall.
The actual Blue Coat patrolman of Charter Hall sees you stab a dude in the chest.
Well, I won't say that yet because but yes, when the Blue Coats arrive, which will invariably be after they would be of any use to you, they'll find you and whatever mess you've made. But if you do that, they will be a little more intimidated, a little more jumpy, a little bit less ready to, do whatever they were going to do before. So it'll intimidate them, but it'll expose you.
Yeah, it's too much exposure. I'll just push myself.
That's fair.
I'm rolling assault.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna roll skirmish? But no, you have assault.
I have 0 dice in it, so I'm pushing myself for 1 die.
Okay.
Desperate
standard. So standard to me looks like one is hurt and not gonna pursue you, and the other one is dead. You said you want to stab him in the heart.
I don't know if I want to stab him in the heart. Now that I think on it, maybe just in his dominant hand's shoulder, so that he's not really able to put up much of a fight.
So you want to incapacitate both of them. One very much longer than the other. I mean, the kick to the groin will stop him for now, but he'll back up. The one that's being stabbed in the arm probably is not gonna.
Yeah. So just get it down to a more even fight is the plan.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I get a 4.
A success.
The success.
It's possible.
So mark XP.
Yep.
I think it looks like this: kick, oof, turn around, stab.
It's probably like slash, and then
Right.
like actually like grab his arm and get him.
Right, and then
There's
you
like a
grab his
very
arm and
big
get him,
fight.
and then you feel the horrible crunch of the one behind you crack with his truncheon that he was, hiding.
Yeah.
Crack you right on the skull, and your eyes go bleary. You hear. Actually, I think it's like smash to the back of the knee, and then
Yeah,
crack,
to
and then when
drop
you
you.
then drop you, and then crack you across the back of the head, and you are concussed, and the one that you stabbed was fumbling for his
Like truncheon or whatever.
truncheon or knife or whatever. He's reaching in, never got to it. Tried to grab you, and is laying on the ground, bleeding out. The one behind you is still in pain, but if you don't take further action, I mean, you may be on a level ground with him at this point because you're both injured, but is not gone. I think that's level 3 harm. Concussion.
Yeah, I'll resist that.
Cool.
I assume I roll force here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I don't think you have any bonuses to resistance.
Nope. So I take 4 stress.
Okay.
And so I don't get knocked out with a truncheon.
You don't get knocked out with a truncheon. You are,
But I've been like hit in the head or something.
yeah, I'd say battered is a little too vague. There's
Stunned or
well, it's level 2. It's gonna stick with you. When you split your head open, I don't think you have a concussion, but you definitely have a head wound, right? You definitely have like a bleeding, right? Like you've, yeah, head wound. I'd love to think of something more descriptive, but
just been smacked upside the head. And so one of them is like bleeding from the shoulder and like clutching his shoulder and is basically out of the fight.
yeah, like he might get up eventually. If you really like, he's going for his weapon, but if you stick around too long, he might eventually.
Yeah,
he
but
might
I got like a beat where he's not in it.
He is not in the present beat, exactly. And the other guy is like still a little off balance, but now standing over you. And,
Yeah,
and
and
kind
so-
of surprised that you didn't collapse immediately. It was like,
Yeah, she like kind of at the last minute became aware, like saw like a reflection in a puddle or something in the light
yes,
swinging at her
nice.
and like ducked a bit, and so it was like a glancing blow to the head.
Yeah, I think it cut instead of the back of the head, it kind of
It,
cuts
like,
you
hit-
across the
yeah, like
forehead.
high on the forehead or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so her hair is like all fucked up and her hat has flown off. And she's like standing there kind of wild-eyed, like holding a bloody knife in the alley and like squaring off with him. And she's just like, you should really reconsider taking this any further. Because I'm the kind of person where if you make me disappear, there will be consequences. There will be consequences that your boss didn't tell you about. Whoever it was that sang you.
You need to stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. And he's kind of like he starts to steadying himself, and I mean you can roll to scare him off,
And
but
has
like
he ceased? He's no longer being like, I'm gonna hit you. Now he's like, I'm threatening you. We're talking.
Yeah.
The tenor has changed.
yeah,
Yeah. So she like.
I
takes
think
a
if
step-
that's what you want, if you're like,
Yeah.
don't mess with me, he's like,
she's just like, let's
he's
just
not
stop
here
this
to.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clear. The other one has like you could see he also has like a club. It's clear they didn't come. Well, maybe they came here to kill.
Who
you,
knows
but
what
like,
they were gonna do? But they
but
were
like-
gonna kill me somewhere else.
But he says, you should you should stop sticking your nose where you don't belong, where it doesn't belong. you're not from Dustfall. You don't know how things work here. Stop rocking the boat.
And she like throws her hands in the air in exasperation and turns, and the guy who's like trying to get up and clutching his shoulder, she just like kicks him in his wounded shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm an inspector, damn it, and like turns back to the other guy. That's what I do. I stick my nose in things. That's my job.
Yeah, so their intent is to beat that idea out of you. But let's see. Do you want to try and dissuade them from that, given the current situation? Do you want to scare them?
I'm controlling here, right? I'm like, cool. So I like wounded your buddy.
Yeah.
He's kind of out of the fight. It's just you and me now. It's dangerous.
Yep.
It's probably going to be more consequential if you beat me up, it's bad for you. If I beat you up, it's bad for you. There's like no winning here.
Right.
Just go away.
Right. And he's of the opinion that if I beat you up enough, you're going to be scared and you're not gonna respond.
Yeah, and I think that
I love that Slane found some guys gullible enough.
Yeah, like
they don't know who you are at all.
They clearly do not know who you are.
Yeah, she just yelled that she's an inspector, and now she's like,
maybe. I mean, yes, maybe that will eventually punish. And frankly, that's why you have an option right now, right? Like you do have a position of authority, right? This is why you're not like risky zero effect or something like that. Like this will work.
Yeah, and so to round it out, she just says to him, I'm not one of those people down in Coleridge. Their back already broken under you. You can't just hit me a couple times and expect me to shy away like a dog. No, it's different now.
Yeah.
And so
I'm going to see what your results are for the roll, and we'll see if he
control. Is it a risky
standard?
Standard. Okay.
If you succeed, you get away. If you don't, if you get a complication, he's gonna test that theory a little bit.
Yep.
Test the theory of hitting you, but you still get away. And if you fail, he's beating you in the alley.
I have this theory of violence, specifically around human bodies. I was like, I'm going to push myself, but then I would trauma again. So no, I'm not going to push myself.
He does not like being threatened. He does not like. He does not like being told. Yeah, risky standard is he doesn't like being told. That he's in trouble or that he should be wary of you. And he, and unfortunately he came here to do violence to you. Fortunately, he did not come here to,
he's not here to do a murder.
He's not here to murder you. He's here to scare you. But the way he does that is by, trussing you up and not trusting you, doesn't have anything to wrap you up in, grabbing you, overpowering you, and throwing you into the canal where all of them ghosts live.
Well, I should probably resist that as well.
Yeah.
Don't you only have 2 stress left?
Yeah, is it fair to say that I can roll conviction here because this is a consequence of me intimidating him? This is about me, like, putting up enough of a strong front that he backs off.
Resist consequences from physical strain or injury. The consequence, I mean, if it was based on the action, yes, but the consequence is not based on your action. I want to help you. I want to say yes, but I don't. I don't think it's right because the consequence is not mental strain or willpower. The consequence is, although. We could, instead of saying,
believed in my words hard enough,
I mean, we could say that okay. So I was just going to give you, I can frame it like this. You take level 2 harm, terrified, because you've been dropped in the canals full of ghosts, and you scramble out of it, barely avoiding being possessed. And there's spooky things that want to eat your face and that remember your name.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yes, you can resist with conviction because
it's really about that.
It's really about that. I think you're fighting, and
I still get thrown in the canal, but
you still get thrown in the
so
canal.
bad.
And yeah, and what you would take is level 2 harm, stare death in the face.
All right, well, what's the worst that can happen in this not even an operation that we're in?
Sorry. Like I said, everybody hates you guys, and like you in particular.
Nobody said it was going to be easy. Look at that. Look
I
at
take-
that.
Stress. I'm at
Stress. You still have a whole stress left. You're
I'm
fine.
at 8 out of 9 stress.
Yeah. And
You have an
and
extra stress.
Thanks, John.
and you have level 1 harmed frightened. if that
Rattled.
rattled, yeah.
Shaken.
Shaken. Those are all good.
We'll go with shaken because John said it in a very commanding way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's like a splash as she lands in the water. And
Water.
rather than do the
This has
thing-
never happened to you before, right?
yeah, like ghosts are not a thing.
Ghosts are not a thing where you come
Right.
from, including the Imperial City.
Yeah. And so, but she doesn't do the thing where you like flail in the water. She like splooshes into it and is like calm for a beat, and then like opens her eyes and there are ghosts, and then just like
I think the
quickly
camera
swims away.
I think the camera like shows her going under the water and her hair spinning out, her clothes lifting up and going
There's
very
like some
slowly.
blood from her head.
Yeah, blood trickling out, and it's just murky water, right? And she's just going down, and then she closes her eyes, and the camera goes black, and when she opens her eyes, then the camera shows,
There's all the like iridescent blue glowy
Yes.
ghosts around.
and you see your fingertip, you see the water like starting to like to harden, to crystallize a tiny bit, and you break out.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
So
in a
she
cold
like
sweat, and
hustles out onto like a staircase that leads up out of the canal.
right, and they've left you there, ostensibly, possessed, terrified, whatever. So they're
It's poetic. We saw what would have happened to Teller. It's a nice, it's full circle.
right. Cool. So
I think
that
as
was
a little touch, she is holding a Spirit Bane charm.
yeah.
The like special like inspector issue official like Spirit Bane charm. That she has.
You're sure that is what saved you. You're sure
Yeah.
that Spirit Bane charm is what gave them pause as they all stared at you for a moment, like
Yeah. What do we do with this new piece of meat?
right. You're sure that's what gave them pause. And
Yeah, she's
gave you
like
the chance to get out.
too messed up to go to like risk going to like a major street and being seen, and so she like skulks home through like dark side streets and alleyways and like gets into her house and just like tears all of her clothes off and like I don't know, shivers naked in bed all night and is like has a bad time.
Yeah, I don't think she can sleep well.
Cool, let's go. Let's do a score. Let's do
You
it.
maxed out your stress and downtime. Didn't someone write a game where that happens to you? I feel like that sounds familiar.
Does anyone else want to take any other downtime actions?
Do you want to burn
Oh.
coin or duty on indulging your vice, Andrew?
Yes, actually.
I think
Wait,
you
hold on.
probably should.
I think we also need to flash back to the.
Go back
Oh,
to y'all.
Yeah.
having a bad time.
it's probably fine. I wouldn't worry too much
It's
about that,
fine.
Sean. I mean,
I mean, it's in the past. We still have a job.
the past is the
Right.
past. You know what I mean?
Right. So
Flashback.
you spent the coin. You gave them a coin. It did not buy Swimmer. It did not win over Park. It did not make you look good in Parker's eyes, right? Like, so somehow you gave them the money, and they still were like, "Oh, that's Swimmer's money. Oh, Swimmer helped us out. Cool. Swimmer is the one, right?" Like, they still managed to like be jerks about it.
I paid money and stress for this flashback. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
This is the worst deal ever.
You
No,
can
I
pay
love
more
it.
Stress.
I
You
think
can
it's
pay more
great.
stress to resist some of these consequences.
I could,
Well,
actually.
I mean, these aren't even consequences. These are just you failed the roll. The consequence, right? That's just like the devil's bargain was you spent the money. The roll
Yeah,
was
yeah.
to get their favor. You didn't get their favor. You didn't get Swimmer, and you spent the money.
Mm-hmm.
The consequence of this desperate action is you hear this officer. Hold on one second. We're always playing fast and loose with these names here. Officer Schrodinger, Officer Brogan, my office, and you don't know how much she heard.
I look at Talk.
I smile at the assembled people and turn around to the captain, and I like follow her. If she turns to walk, I follow her too.
Yep.
When I turn, I give Swimmer a look like this shit isn't over.
Thank you.
Swimmer sees that and reads it loud and clear. Like he's amazed he didn't get.
I'm wearing my suit, by the way.
Nice.
Great. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't think that's gonna help, but I come in and I try to take the lead. Mm-hmm. It probably doesn't work, but I shut the captain's door and I start with like, Captain, listen. Things are complicated. There's a lot of ins, a lot of outs.
And I'm looking at Talk like incredulous because he has said literally nothing in that sentence. That was like empty words. I'm like, This is your play? God damn it.
There's things going on here.
A lot of things going on, Captain.
Shit happens.
It's complicated.
When time passes.
We grow old, we die.
Right.
These are the seasons of our lives.
Been on the job 2 days, and you're already making us look bad. You're already making everything in this office confused. The whole point of me putting you on this task force Talk was to get you out of this shit. At your request, if I remember correctly. And Schrodinger, I thought you knew better.
I give the captain kind of I give her a very frank look, and I'm like, Captain, let's all be honest here, right? Let's not tiptoe around it. You can't like this inspector business. Don't you want to know what she's doing here? In a
Sure, I want to know. But like you, in general, I also know how to keep my head down and stay out of trouble. And sending Swimmer to go spy on an investigator is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of. He stands out like a sore thumb, for one. So it's a bad plan.
He could be relied on to not actually know his route, I would argue. Besides, if the inspector bites his head off, what loss is it to our precinct?
And you're not following the mandate. I gave two of my, as I reported up to Cleland, as I reported up to Cleland, I gave two of my finest to this. Those are my words.
Not mad, just disappointed.
Mom.
So what are you gonna do to make this right so there's zero perception that you're doing anything, zero perception from anyone here that you're doing anything but the mandate? Because that's your job right now. And so the consequence is she wants some bold commitment out of you guys, like some very strong thing that you're going to do that's invariably going to piss off all those blue coats or whatever it is. But she looks to you for cooperation and compliance, right? She's not hammering you with like, I'm taking your badge, or she's looking to you for how you're going to fix this problem, because you've created a perception that the mandate is tainted. The mandate is just as subject to the regular bullshit as every other thing is. You need to separate those two. That's a serious consequence. You can certainly resist it, but that's where you are right now. And if you offer her something little, she's going to say bigger unless you're willing to resist and try and talk her down to something small. And if that's too vague, I can give you something, but it's in her nature to give you the shovel to dig yourself either deeper or out.
I almost want to resist with savvy, not out of the deception part of it, but out of understanding.
Yep.
Because I think, like, the perception is that the mandate is tainted, but the reality is that it's tainted AF. Like everything in Dustfall everywhere is tainted.
Yeah,
Everybody
totally.
knows that.
Right.
So
Inspectors carry this weird clout of being uncorruptible and like they're supposed to be the one thing that isn't, and she's trying to not mess that up.
I think though the interesting thing about Uset is that she's a Ruvian so she simultaneously carries this, like, I'm very corrupted air. Inherently, she's like kind of a 2-in-1.
Political corruption. I don't know that from Lamond's perspective, she doesn't have any issue with the Ruvians. She is savvy enough to know that there are political tensions, but there isn't, like, she doesn't have default racism against Aruvia.
I think you can play that off, though, as if you're resisting with savvy, you can be like, it's not that the inspectors are getting dirt on them. It's that we're trying to make sure that this Eruvian doesn't put any dirt on them. Like, we all know how it is.
Right. And
someone's got to watch out for that. If we're just going to, like, blunder around listening to everything they say, like, who knows what's going to happen? We should be
watching
careful.
We protect our own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, blue coats protect our own.
Awesome. And I think what you're going to do is reduce this serious consequence from of something like you need to do something really big and overt to just a normal consequence, which I'll give you in a second.
All right.
I'm being punishing, I know.
No, that's totally fine.
No,
It's the
good.
right thing for this.
So
Nice.
yeah, Janice
Nice.
is just like, okay, we get it, we fucked up, but I don't want to stick my neck out for some outsider inspector. I want to make sure that we're guarding our own backs in this mandate.
And Lamond points at you to talk, and then she points at Janice, and she's like, "You should learn from people who've been here longer."
Yes,
All right.
yes, Captain.
All right, Schrodinger, you're right. We should keep an eye out on this inspector. And I know just the cop who knows how to keep her head down and stay quiet to do it. I want to know what's in that book. I want to know everything she does. You're absolutely right. We got to watch out for her own.
Of course,
You get me that book.
She wants me to get her the physical book, not just knowledge of what's in it.
That she's saying the book, but it's really like the contents of it.
Okay.
It's more than just you coming in and being like, I'm going to report on whatever we happen to do, and it's actually taking an interest in whatever she's writing down. Like, she doesn't actually expect you to get the physical book unless you were to, like, sneak it to her and get it back, but she wants the knowledge therein.
Okay. And I just kind of nod and say, of course, Captain, I can do that.
Best thing for everybody.
Yep. Now, don't you have another lead to follow up on?
Yes, Captain.
Yes.
Thank you, Captain.
You just kind of like leave.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. She lets you out. I mean, this was the kind captain that got you off of out of Trippett's crosshairs.
Yep.
So.
Oh man.
She's playing that as well. Like I took care of you.
There's a thing that I really want to do, but it's even worse. It's like
I've got an even worse plan.
Haven't you done enough?
Well, you would think so. I mean, I think we are like on the way out, or like we walk across the whole precinct to our office to what's his name, Wicker's office.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it now says Imperial
right
investigator.
It has the
Annexus.
It does. It does. It has the nameplate on the door.
Yeah, but sure, people still call it Wicker's office.
I am gonna fucking rub it in a little, and like I assume Parker and Swimmer and the gang members are still there.
Oh yeah, they're having a great old time.
And as we go back into our office, I kind of turn back to them, and I, like in a mocking kind of way, I'm just like, hey, like we're good, right? Like I it's obvious that that's not true, but I'm kind of like, we took care of you, and I kind of like tip my cap at them, like it's a good thing everything's square with us now, right? I don't say that, but I just like that's the demeanor that I have. Like, you don't want any more of this.
So, are you trying to get Parker off your back? Huh?
I want.
He is still gonna be harassing you about. Show us you're a real cop. Show us you're a real blue coat. Show us that you're dedicated to us.
I am pushing things so that, like I want him to understand the situation here. Like,
yeah.
Things aren't square. Okay, you can keep leaning on us for whatever if you want to, but do you really want all this extra shit?
Right.
Do you really want to be involved with us who are like constantly in trouble and are like it would be better for everyone if you just went off and did your own thing and pretended like this didn't exist. I don't know. I'll make a roll, I guess. I
don't know. I feel like I don't actually feel like that's.
I'm leaving it up to him to do whatever he wants with that information.
Yeah.
I'm not actually trying to convince him of anything. I'm just like.
Right. I feel like you're just conveying to him like, hey, we're dangerous goods to mess with.
Yeah.
Because we're always in trouble, and if you get tangled up with us, you're going to be in trouble too.
Yeah.
And maybe. I think that the result of that is that he may be more particular about the ways in which he grinds, like he may be like more cautious in the way he does. It torments you.
Who knows? Yeah. It's not over. I understand that. I'm just.
Yeah, and if you want to roll to like do that, that's fine. But I feel like what you're.
I don't think I have any leverage really. I think I just want to like. I know that you know. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he gets it.
Yeah.
And he's like, pushes his hair over his big old birthmark and gets out of the way and is like strikes a match off of the pillar and in the hall as to like, cool, it's nothing but smoke in the wind.
Just shut the door.
Yep. Nice. You guys want to pick a job, make an engagement roll, and then cut there?
Andrew, I think you might want to burn some resources to recover from your horrible downtime.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Not be stressed anymore. Now, I don't have any personal money, right? We don't start with any coin.
Correct.
For
just like Blades, you start with nothing.
So I'm going to spend some money from the unit. Because the only way we can get extra downtime is to spend coin, right?
We can spend coin or duty, which just basically means like time off. Like while you're recovering, the unit isn't doing stuff, so our duty prestige like drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just don't show up for work.
You can totally do that and
we'll
spend one of our.
I feel like duty is easy come, easy go. The coin is
Coin is hard to come by. It's true.
Yeah.
A little easier for us, but still.
Well, coin that Uset would know about and want to spend. Is harder to come by. Like discretionary money is harder to come by.
All the money you have is discretionary. It's Uset's discretion, but yes,
Yeah, well-
Technically true.
it's a little harder to account for your money than it is your time. Your time is easier to not have somebody be watching the ledger for that.
Yeah, and like, I think she just is a little too straight up to steal or embezzle quite yet. But I would like to indulge my vice.
I mean, is it embezzling if you're improving your own health so that you can do your job better? That's like
Yes.
That's like it's professional development. Come on now.
No, you live in America. You know that that's stealing.
I have a certain amount of money dedicated to training, so I can do my job better.
So I'm gonna indulge my vice.
Yeah. What's that look like? Or do you not want to play it out? Are you tired and just want to say I indulge? You don't have to.
So my vice is seeking out the burned king.
It sure is.
And this feels like the perfect prompt to like drive her to do this,
Yeah.
right? That I like almost got possessed by ghosts. And I
Yeah.
can't sleep.
Can't sleep. Clutching the spirit bane charm. She still has weird shivers.
And yeah, she's like all disheveled, and I think she like leaves to go to work, and is like still all fucked up. Like she's not put together the way she normally is, where everything is like you could set a watch to her appearance. You know, like she's super put together. She's like a total mess, and she makes it to Coleridge just walking.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you still feel safe walking on the streets?
she's just kind of in a daze. Like she's
Nice.
not really like fully there. She's like not dressed properly. She's kind of messed up. And she like walks across the bridge and then like looks at the precinct and just like sweeps her gaze across the district
Mm-hmm.
and
you
lands
just
on the mountain,
right,
the coal mines,
right. You see
and
this
just like walks in there. She just walks into the
wow.
dark coal mines and doesn't show up that day. And we like don't see her again until she's like at home covered in soot, still sobbing on her bed, but like maybe a little more together. And like finally can sleep after wandering.
Yeah, I think that everything there feels really heavy and dense. It feels like, even though it's huge because it's totally dark, it feels very small and cozy and snug. And I think there's a part of that feels comforting, as though there's some like a big
A womb-like quality to it.
womb, yes, like a big sooty blanket just wrapped around you.
Yeah. And it's like kind of stuffy and warm in there, probably.
It is, and there's no rain.
Yeah.
And everything just moves very slowly and quietly, as opposed to like the regular chaos of the days. Even when you hear noises, they feel like they're deliberate, like a drip down the wall. It's slow and methodical.
Yeah. So she like loses a whole day, kind of wandering around in there.
Cool. Roll force. Yikes.
I recover 1 stress. I'm gonna spend another duty
Another day.
and indulge again. So our duty is down to 1.
Before you do it, do you want to bring any of your contacts to help you, to give you an extra die for this?
Yeah, Elstara, could you come hang out with me in coal mines?
Yeah, the Lord Governor might want to go down there with you, or
I mean,
the Chief of the Bluecoats, perhaps.
I think she can show
You know,
up.
so many cool people.
right? They're just down to chill.
Bailey is the shift sergeant for the evening shift, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she wanders into the precinct after having been in the coal mine all day. She like finally, she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go in there for a little walk." And it's like 8 hours pass, and she walks now to work, and it's night. It's like way past when she should be there. She walks in, and like the precinct is quiet, and all disheveled and fucked up. She walks up to Bailey,
And she's all covered in like soot, right?
covered in soot, yeah,
Yeah.
and just like puts a hand on his desk, to like get his attention because he's probably like reading a book. Or
He's
something.
yeah, he's reading a book, doing paperwork. He sees you. He looks startled, because he's never seen you look like this, and almost without thinking, he reaches out for you. I don't know if you flinch away or not.
No,
but-
she's got like the hand that she puts on his desk, like he can like
Yeah.
touch her hand.
Yeah. And he reaches out and he puts two fingers on your hand and he like makes like a streak down like between your bones there and like pushes a little bit of soot away. So that it's not like you're clean, but like it's like there's these two lines that like form in the back of your hand, where you can see your sort of skin. And then like he seems to calm down a little bit. Like he's like really startled for a moment.
And then he has to like check.
Yeah, like I don't know, he checked something, he made sure, maybe he felt your pulse in your hand or something like that. Who knows?
And yeah, she like.
But it was a real deliberate action.
She pulls out her little notepad and sets it on the desk and flips it back to the appropriate page and then points and leaves a little like soot fingerprint, and just says, I've heard that you know about folklore, local history, that kind of thing.
I know about which gods. I think gods are talked about. Yeah, I know about which gods not to cross, or I know about which gods not to cross. Not like there are any to cross, but yeah.
And
he's
you know,
looking at you real seriously. Like he's normally a pretty affable guy, but right now he's.
yeah, this is like not a.
It's
not-
that you're super disheveled, and in particular that you're, he's like, let's get you cleaned up.
Yeah, and so she's just like. Yeah, she just like wants to know more, so she'll like grill him for stuff. Well,
Yeah, right.
and that can count as me indulging my vice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This time with a friend.
He's not a contact, but I think it counts as like with a friend.
Is
I'll
it
go with that.
good enough, or does it have to be someone with an up arrow? In which case,
It doesn't have to be someone with an up arrow, but it normally has to be someone that's one of your affiliates.
Mm.
Bailey isn't on your contact list right now.
What do we say here? Is it okay?
I say you take it as a devil's bargain. He's
sure,
not,
because
he's
him
not,
knowing is dangerous.
he's
Yep,
not. Yeah, he's
exactly.
not going to give you the die because he's not in on it. But he's like, wait, why do you want to know about this? And and like he starts talking, but then it's he's curious as well. So yeah, he knows about your interest.
Great.
Nice. There you go, Bailey. Helping out.
Good boy. So I now have 3, 6, 7 open strikes. Good. All right, I've wasted enough of the unit's resources.
Yeah.
I don't know, Captain. She just didn't show up. I guess we'll just wait around and see if she does. What
Yeah,
else?
this
What
is-
else are we gonna do?
I'm like,
This is a
aren't y'all
great
supposed to be watching me?
motivation. This is a great motivation for the captain to put me to like assign me to follow Uset around.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is missing technically.
Yeah, because like I'm not at my house or whatever when I'm in the coal mine.
I would like
No,
to
no.
find out if you notice that happening, Jan. I think that's fun.
Right.
You see Uset stagger out of the coal mines covered in soot.
Yeah. What is Jan's approach when Uset doesn't show up to work the first day?
I would ask around.
All right.
I know somebody that's got to know something because I know everybody.
Andrew, do you think that's Uset is too circumspect to be detected, or do you think that she's sort of dazed enough that
She was
Jan,
out of it enough that yes, people would have seen. And
Right.
like, she came across one of the bridges, like the bridge nearest the
right?
big coal mountain.
So I
And
think
also, there's so many people in Coleridge that are low key superstitious.
yep,
Like
Yeah.
nobody talks about it, but everybody knows.
yeah, yeah. I think a couple kids, a couple, like they want to scale for their services, right? These are mostly orphan kids that run around Coleridge and that like try to avoid work, kicking something that's not a ball. and they for like basically like not nothing but not like real coin, they totally tell you that they saw this woman in nice clothes go into the mines, and you like wait for her to come out, because everyone knows like you don't just go in there, like it's not safe.
That would be a waste of Jan's time,
right?
Like everybody knows the fancy Aruvian went in the coal mine, because that's that's some shit that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
And Jan would know, she's gonna be a while, and I have literally like 50 other things to deal with right now. So
cool.
Just file it away.
Nice.
This is why we need a swimmer. I'm just saying.
I know. I feel. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think Swimmer's off the table. He's definitely closer to Parker now. Though.
I think the only way to do it now is just to buy with XP. We're just gonna be like, fuck it, we have a cohort. We tried it the hard way and it didn't work.
Well, that is an option. Yes, that is an option. Someone else appears, right? I mean, I was gonna say you could work on a long-term project. We could. You certainly could have gotten Swimmer.
Hey, we took our shot. Shit happens.
Yeah. Cool. Now, would you guys like to pick a job for next time?
Yeah. Uset's eventually back in the office, and is
presumably all cleaned up.
Do you even bother giving us an excuse, or are you just like, so here's what we're doing next?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where she like doesn't acknowledge it.
Okay. All right. I don't say anything. I just give you actually no, I do say something. I don't think Talk would be able to help himself. It's something casual, like but also kind of cutting, like something about the casual Aruvian work week, like the 3-day work week or something like that.
Right.
It's nice. I could get used to this. Yeah, exactly. That's it, Sean. Yeah.
And she just like talks around it. She's like, "Did you get those clothes?"
Yeah, much obliged. Fits like a glove.
Yes, well then, no need to complain, I suppose.
Who's complaining? This is the best job I've had yet.
Yeah. And she starts like reviewing her notes or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of sort of pointing and like Shar. I'm just giving you guys more cops than you can, more blue coats than you can.
That's okay. I'm trying to keep track here. I got a list.
Shar is she's another veteran of the Unity War, and she obviously like saw something, because she's the blue coat that like spends all her extra money on electroplasmic rounds that like she has like 4 of, because they're serious money, but she keeps them and checks them all the time. And if she does ever have to fire one, she does her damnedest to replace it as soon as possible, and keeps them like on a bandolier. Like it's not like it's under her blue coat, but it's certainly not like blue coat normal attire. And and Shar is like staring daggers at the back of Anixis's head when you get into work, and someone's like talking to her and she's not listening at all. But the audience can hear like, "What do you think they're doing in there?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too." And she's just, you're just getting a weird, like, who are you and what are you about?
Yeah, I see her in the other room and I'm just like, I have no idea why she's doing that. It's weird.
All right.
She's weird.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm like, I don't imagine Inspector Anixis pays much mind to all the blue coats. Like, I'm not keeping a list of what all their names are.
Nice.
I don't care
Till they're on till they're part of the mandate.
until they're part of the investigation. Yeah.
Do you have citizens' names for the two people that beat you up?
No, I do not.
Cool.
I'll have to work on that.
Fair. I mean, you don't need to. You don't know their names, but I don't know if you were calling them citizen. You know.
Are they black and blue?
Hey,
Dang.
I mean, the
Plus-
next subject on the board is Citizen Taupe,
yeah.
who is
Kieran?
Kieran, the
Yep.
Sparkright.
Kieran Hale, the Sparkright.
I assume that's our next target.
I see no reason to deviate from the.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. I think probably Talk and Jan are both going to be like, yeah, let's just do the next one and move up. Like, we're not going to be into like, no, we have to finish. We have to get as much evidence as possible.
Right.
I think we're like, no, just do whatever the next thing is. We'll do the next thing.
Yeah, we don't really have a sense of like
Right.
a crime.
No.
Right? Like,
We have sort of another lead, but I think Kieran is our best lead, it seems like.
Yeah, you have the other lead of like one other person. Well, I think people that have like stood out as Belle ostensibly did commit a crime, in that she took Teller's place and she disrupted the workflow.
made seditious speeches.
She made seditious speeches, exactly. You know, there's this other person that was involved with them, and that was involved with Teller like getting food on his table, which was Moon.
Yeah.
And you don't really know anything about her because Kitty didn't know anything about her. And then there's Hale. So I think you have those three are all involved with Teller and involved in this in the CWA.
I think we're going after Kieran, but I'm curious what the inspector says. Like, do you say we're going to flip Kieran? Are we arresting Kieran and putting him away for something? What's...
And
I'm not
Kieran,
just
like,
putting this on you, Andrew, like, but like,
Yeah.
you know.
What was the history again? Like Kieran went to ground or something?
Kieran,
Fighting?
well, Kieran,
Because he got in a
technically-
fight with Slane.
yeah, he works for Slane, or at least that's the appearances. But he's been ferreting information he's been secreting information and giving it to Belle. So Kieran's playing both sides in some way.
Yeah.
He had an argument with Slane in Traven's smoke shop, and that was last he was seen.
Yeah. So I think
and he's a Sparkright, and he works on the keeping all the factory
like factory machinery.
machinery working, and Teller told you that he was working on some special project for Slane as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for her, it's as much like find the guy and tail him and like see what he's up to as it is.
Okay. So it's not
like-
grab him yet. It's like follow and observe before we do
like,
anything.
Locate, follow, observe.
Yeah.
and then if we get a sense of like something, some justification for bringing him in, then we bring him in. If not, we like go to where he lives and talk to him there.
Right. He hasn't been home. It's been a week or so. He's
Yes.
definitely a missing person. At this
Sounds like a stakeout, I think.
Yeah, I
Possibly.
feel like this is more like detective-y kind of work rather than just go round up.
We sit on his house, we sit on the smoke shop, we sit on a work site, and we like see where he goes. That kind of
try
thing.
to, like, pick
Right.
him up somewhere,
Mhm.
Right.
follow him around for a bit, and see what he's up to.
Right. Well, and the first part of that is just even figuring out where the heck he is.
Yeah.
Because He hasn't been seen. And I think even cursory, just asking around the street, like, is it just not that he's home, or is he not really not been seen? There's definitely people that so cool. What kind of job is this going to be? Stakeout.
Stakeout. We just need
Yeah.
to decide where we're going to watch from.
Yep.
I think if we're in his neighborhood where he lives and we approach his home as a first target, we could try to maybe Jan could do this, but like we could try to use someone's house. Like we could watch from a window of somebody's
Someone that we know. And
residence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, John, I know Brixton is like the worst of the places, but are any of the places on the map any better or worse? In
Yeah.
terms of living?
Pretty much it's north. The farther north you go, the better the living conditions, except for notably like where Forge Street is in the Furnace.
That's all.
That's
factory
like
stuff.
it's pretty much like pretty rough factory shit. But like Monarch, that north neighborhood is nicer. Bankside is nicer.
Yeah.
And then also the full southern one, Nalford, down there by the Southern Road. That's a little nicer too.
Cool.
So the center of the district is the lower income area.
I think he lives down in Nalford. It's close to the ironworks where he does a lot of his work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a bad walk, and I get the sense just from the names that Nalford is nice, but not as nice as King Street and Queen Street and
Mm-hmm.
King's Court.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't take you long to figure out where he lives. It's not like you have like a registry of it or anything like that, but people know.
Yeah, there's probably like he has a work permit and spark rights license
Yep.
and that kind of thing that we can look up in our catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the way that we figured some of the stuff out is like Uset is on the paper trail and y'all are out like interviewing people and trying to get a sense of if he's been seen around and that kind of thing. And then we settle on like, cool, this is where we're going to set up to
Mhm.
watch
Cool.
him. And it's like probably somewhere that's kind of with an eye for like him coming to his house or like being near his work.
Yeah, we
Yep.
might see him crossing over from the ironworks or
Yeah, like we're watching some of the bridges or something, or
yeah, if we can get set up right like where Clover and Cavill House Street cross like here,
Yep.
oh yeah, that would be good.
then we could see
Yeah.
him coming and going
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, he lives on Cowell House Street, and it's like I think this little courtyard in the center, I imagine, is like the nicest places are sort of inside there, the most off the street. So he's like in a nice area, but he's right on that corner spot. It's a
Mhm.
lot of road noise. It's really loud. It's nicer than your places. Well, not Uset's, but okay, cool. So let's figure out your. I pulled up the one sheet that doesn't have it on it. There we go. Oh no, that's we already got. So what load do you each want to take on this said stakeout?
I mean, we're not making a move, right? We're not going to be chasing him necessarily.
I mean, one hopes.
I feel like light would be the sensible choice here because we're not going to need a ton of stuff.
Do you want us to blend in as
And I think that's part of her notion too of getting you plain clothes,
okay?
so that at least one of the two of you can be.
I'll go light and wear my plain clothes. Yeah, I'm
I will
down for that.
I will also go light, and I will also wear plain clothes for once.
What?
What's going on here?
Holy shit!
On the job, but you don't look like you're on the job. It's a new thing.
Yeah. I think Janice is
Alright.
unhappy about it, but
Yeah,
But yeah, like
what's the point of getting
Inspector
him
Nix
clothes?
is this is what we're doing. We're gonna be not in uniform, hanging out in these areas, keeping an eye out for him.
So Nalford, like especially this southern area here, and Rose Court, this used to be like, a lot of farriers and stabling and that kind of thing. When a lot of the industry was horse and goat driven instead of steam and electricity driven. So I'm picturing like this big corner block here could be like a converted
An old
like stable and
old
barn
fair.
kind of thing that's been chopped up into little rooms and
Yeah. Yeah. There's an old like anvil that is sitting out because it's too heavy to move. So it's just been sitting there and it's kind of crooked. Like the wooden support for it is sort of, or like the ground it was on sort of sunk in a little bit. But like no one's ever gonna take this damn thing. It's just way too heavy. And yeah, and there's, although you don't see quite the same destitute in Nalford, I think you still see there's people that are sort of still just getting by in lots of ways. And you're still Coleridge, even though it's an isolated nice part of it.
yeah. Maybe we can be like, well, particularly with you said here, maybe we can sort of pretend to be potential renters or something. Like we're looking to put some money down on the place, or I don't know.
Janice is a real liability in any public appearance, and that even though
Everybody-
I don't pretend well.
Everybody knows who she is.
everybody knows who she is, right?
Yeah.
This is a nicer area than where she lives in, so it's not like everyone here knows it, but I mean it's still only a couple blocks away from Brixton.
I think it's the point. The point of her wearing her plain clothes is that she is in the area ostensibly to do something else. So, I mean, obviously, but it's like, hey, I need to go over to this corner and like pick up something, or
Oh, this is an engagement question. I'm jumping ahead here, but I just was thinking, like, getting help from friends and contacts in engagement. It helps us.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
people here thought you were, because you're not in uniform, if they thought you were here representing the Schrodinger family business,
yeah,
like that would definitely help us not be seen as cops, right? And like fit
Right.
in if they just assumed that you were here on the drugs side of the thing.
I feel like that's kind of a stretch though, because she's so loud about not doing that, and like has her dad threaten people with
Right.
arrest.
right.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's maybe I'm
That's
talking
too much.
to Hopper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I'm doing my daily. That's why I have like a weapon. Is because I need to go make sure the kids aren't fucking with Hopper,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
kind of thing.
The kids like to alternate.
That's good.
And I'm stealing this from DLV. The kids like to alternate between banging on the anvil, like to no effect except for to make a lot of noise, and harassing Hopper. Hopper often walks down Cowell House Street. Like it's a mixture of cobblestone and dirt roads in the area, and wherever it's dirt, he'll be like he has a little fire poker, and he like pokes at it, and he's like trying to uncover. It's like I know the rail's in there, and he's like I know you're hiding under that rail. I'm gonna find you, and he digs at it, and the kids like to throw dirt clods at him, tease him, chase him around, steal his stuff, which is like his little fire poker, and just generally like be little shits.
Yeah, I think I just roll through and make sure. I mean, I'm actually doing this because I do care,
Yeah,
but also while I'm doing it, I'm keeping an eye out for Kieran.
yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, he's happy. He's happy. He asks you for money. He's like, Schrodinger, you got a scale or two? Help me invest in this rail finding expedition. I need my staff. They need gotta pay them well for this expedition we're going on.
I fish out like a scale or two and I hand it over and I say, Hopper, you are one of the most fair employers in this neighborhood.
I treat my people well.
I nod solemnly.
Yeah, and he looks over his shoulder. He's like, yeah, you know it. Don't complain. We'll split this. And he shoves it into some crevice, some crack. Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like, he's like, hey, you know, and he like I got something for you. And
what's that?
I think it's a combination of nonsense, and maybe something useful. Let's make an engagement roll.
All right.
Let's see if he's got some actually useful information for you. Because it's hit or miss. Lover. All right. So we started our pool. You have 1 die for good luck. Is this operation bold or daring?
No,
I feel like
not really.
by definition.
Yeah.
We're not staking out Lord Strangford yet.
Yeah. Heck, you're not even staking out Master Slain.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, that is the operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? It isn't contingent on many factors. You don't necessarily know that you're starting from a good point. Like, you might have to move around, but from the start, I don't think it's overly complex. You're sitting in a place waiting for a person to show up, or waiting for other people that might be interested, or waiting for someone to go to his house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Not really. You haven't found like the spot.
I don't think we have a lot of info yet. This is kind of a hopeful
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses? No, they don't. I don't think they've got anything. Can any of your friends or contacts provide insight? Yes, Hopper is happy to provide insight. Are any of your enemies or rivals interfering with this operation? Is Slain your enemy? I don't think he is.
Not yet. We're like not actually hostile yet.
And also, we reduce some of that heat. There's been some reassurance and mollifying, and
Yes.
yeah, like I feel like we've kept him in this tenuous in between zone.
Yes, so far.
Yeah, I think you have. I mean, I
Another
would-
-1 and then we're in trouble.
I would be willing to say, well, that's true. You do have negative action status with him, but I don't think he's kind of exerted the level of effort that he was going.
He's not going to go out of his way to fuck us over, right?
Not right now.
Well, not again. Not again this soon.
Yeah, he already fucking messed with my stuff. So.
Right.
True.
So I don't think he's actively getting in your way right now. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target will give you +1d. I don't feel like tier has a lot of effect here. You're not like bringing the weight of the blue coats. You're not bringing in a bunch of other blue coats to watch.
And he's sort of a Sparkrite too, so we're kind of like not. Yeah, we don't have like a big advantage tier wise.
Right.
Um,
Yep. So I think that's
2?
That's it. 2. Yeah.
you want to roll it, Nanja, since Hopper's your guy?
Let me put this out there, though, to just do
Okay.
a little bit of
Okay.
push. We are an organization going after an individual, though. It's presumably, unless he has some kind of institutional support from some faction or something, it kind of feels like he's on the outs.
What kind of institutional support do we have?
I mean, we're the police.
Yeah, but it's just the 3 of us.
But it's 3 of us, and there's only one of him.
I agree with you completely, Andrew, and that's when I was factoring in, he has institutional support. I didn't want to say that this is where he was strongest, but
Okay, so
there's
not
a
just,
reason
like,
why he hasn't shown up, right?
Okay.
There are other
Okay.
people involved.
All right.
So yeah.
All right.
See, I just made Sean.
No, it's good, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it didn't sound like he was happy about not being around. You know, there was a fight and then he disappeared. A lot of people think he's dead.
Right.
You know,
He might
it's
be.
like-
We don't know.
He might be. I mean, what? And I'm not revealing that to you yet right now because what you might find out is the people that are ransacking his house and hiding evidence or something like that, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what you actually get out of this may not be Slain if he's not around, or not. Hale.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, 2 dice.
2 dice.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I want to point out that of these 2 dice, one comes from Sherlock and the other one comes from Hopper.
I'll take what I can get.
No, it's good. It's good.
Oh, look at that.
I think that
6.
was all Hopper.
That was Hopper's die.
That's that Hopper die.
That's right.
Cool. So you're going to start in a controlled situation. That makes total sense. Hopper,
Allow me
absolutely.
to list an important quote here, which is the police is only as good as their informant.
That's right.
Yeah. I think we need to do some Arthur Awards and give Jan MVP for this episode. Made the money,
It's true.
got rid of heat, and
All
got
John and I
the
did was piss things away.
Had the most stressful downtime ever.
Standard.
right. What does he do during downtime? Oh yeah, you get stressed out. You get beat up, stressed out. No.
I had level 3 harm coming at me.
You sure did.
God damn.
Yeah. You gave a fuck when it wasn't your turn to give a fuck.
I almost traumatized twice in one session.
But you didn't get negative.
But we didn't get that negative
faction
faction status with the Lord God.
I mean, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good.
So yeah, Hopper is like, oh yeah. No, there have been people going to Hale's house. Yeah. And I tell you what, too, they don't belong on the train. Nope, they're not welcome there. No, they don't have a pass, and they think they can get on for free, but nobody rides a train for free. It's kind of nonsense, kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very
That's good.
wise. He's
That's
very
good.
wise.
Yeah. So we'll open it up next time in a controlled situation. I think you're perched and have a good vantage, and we're good.
Nice.
So thank you all for a session of downtime.
We did it.
Man.
We did it. There's a few things that definitely I played out more than was needed, but I really wanted to do more establishing of the world. So I feel like those are important.
It's good. It's good stuff. This is the situation we're in. We're in trouble from every direction, and I think tonight really cemented that quite well.
It really feels that way.
It's perfect. This is what I wanted.
Yay! I'm so glad to hear.
My life is so complicated.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's do some XP.
Yeah.
That is a thing you get
We still get XP.
for even though that everything else is terrible. You get XP.
I want to go first.
Okay.
Did I honorably do my duty in service to the Imperium, or did I do what was right? I did not do anything in service to the Imperium. In fact, I spied against them,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
I will argue is about what Uset believes is right.
That is 100% your call.
That is exactly. So that's a question I've been wanting to get at, and I'm so glad that XP has unveiled it.
Yeah.
Because I remember at the beginning of this investigation, I was like, "Are you all on board for restoring the, for doing this and helping the Empire?" And you're like, "Yep, no question about it. Fully doing my job." And now I love that it's like, well, mostly doing my job, but also I gotta watch out for my own.
Yeah. Mostly because her girlfriend's pissed.
Priorities.
But I'll take 1 XP there, and then express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Definitely some drives.
I think your drives came up. I think your background as
My-
inspector was constantly
my
being
heritage-
Your heritage
Your
was
heritage is a
a
really-
lot.
it was a big problem for you tonight.
And then struggled with issues for my vice or traumas. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
People
I will
know
say-
about your vice now. Like
Yeah,
at least two
'cause
people. Both
taking that
Jan,
dark bargain and having
Yeah.
Jan find out about it.
Yeah,
Both
so-
bad.
both bad.
And then
Um,
I assumed that those people were there to kill me.
right.
And
And
like went to violence when I really shouldn't have, all because I was just like, nope, these people are out to get me. I have to
Yeah,
get them first.
right. And what they would have delivered to you would have been much more scary and intimidating and less immediately beating. They still would have beat you for sure, but like they wanted to put
There would have
fear
been
in
less
you.
violence and more like shaking of.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Yes.
escalated it from your paranoia.
You
so
escalated
that-
it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just fisticuffs either. It was stab a person. So they responded in kind, right?
Yep.
So yes.
Yep.
That escalated, got more dangerous than it needed to be, and that's great. And
just
you get
giving
XP
people
for
what
it.
they want.
So it looks like you got a playbook advanced.
I'm gonna take a playbook advance and I put 1 XP in savvy, so I'm 2 away from advancing my savvy.
Nice. Cool. Let's. Who's next?
Naja, you want to go?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. I marked my desperate action.
Cool.
Yeah. Served my precinct by laying down law or doing what's right. I feel like I served the precinct by arguing to tail the inspector, but that is neither laying down the law nor doing what's right.
I mean, in our definition of law, what your captain wanted you to do was, well, eventually, what you convinced her and she agreed with was to follow Uset. So,
I feel like that's doing what's right though. Like we made a case like, look, we have a job to do. That's the law part of things, but also we need to do what's right here. There's this foreign agent and we need to
Yeah.
keep
we,
our eye on
we need to
it.
keep an eye on it. It's not our job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
Well, that's my job now, God damn. But
Now you get paid for it.
But also, in the same way that I'm like, it's really important that I do my job, but also that I use it to spy on the Imperial
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all are like, it's really important that we deal with this foreign agent, but also it's to cover up the fact that we owe money to the like gang police and shit. Like,
Yeah.
all these things are
Yeah.
nested
All these
together.
things have multiple reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're I don't think talking to Slane served the precinct.
No.
Like I think it served you, your unit. But it didn't.
Yeah. I don't think it served the precinct, and it certainly wasn't right. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is just
Fair enough.
that's the next bullet point.
All right, yeah.
Um, So just one, or
I think so. Unless there's no I mean that's what I'm counting, but I'm certainly open if there's other.
that is fine because I'm going to argue for 2 on expressing my beliefs, drives, heritage, and background because that's literally all I do.
You do not need to
Yep.
argue because we're all gonna say just take 2. For that.
Yep,
Yeah,
take 2.
I mean, that was all what you did.
Yep. 100%.
That gives me a playbook advance. And
Nice.
then struggle with issues from my vice or trauma. Kitty.
I think you should. I mean, I kind of
You
threw them
should
at
take one. Yep.
I think you should take one for Kitty being really disappointed with you, and then if it's actually a problem for you, there's also your dad trying to get you in on his.
Oh,
business.
god damn it. I forgot. God damn it.
Your dad just could use a little extra help and to make ends meet, and if you wanted to contribute to the family business.
You know how it is. Just
And it probably, I don't know if it annoys you or not, but you know that like they've started calling your parents the Melters.
No.
So now they have a name, which like
oh boy.
Trackers are becoming a gang.
technically makes them a
Yes,
gang.
As soon as your crew has a name, yeah.
Yeah,
God
right.
damn it.
So,
Okay.
Oh boy.
because their product you just melt away when you take it. You just Just everything melts away.
It sounds pleasant at least. So is that one for struggling or two?
I think it's two. You struggle with your sister.
Okay.
You struggle with your dad. They're both your
I'll
obligation.
put both of those in conviction. And
That
I
seems
will
appropriate.
take a playbook advance.
Nice.
I'm really bad at being a cop, but I'm really good at
And-
being bad at being.
Yes. I think I might probably missed Allison. But bye, Allison. All right, talk. Brogan.
Yes, I did what's right. I'm taking 2 for that. I went down
Alright.
a fucking rabbit hole of stress and money and getting in trouble
And consequences and pain.
because I'm doing what's right. Damn it! And
And what I don't disagree, but what was right was that watching your own because Uset was one of your own, or was that protecting yourself from Uset because you want to know what she's doing?
I don't know if I want to say yet. Talk has a motivation here, but I don't know. It hasn't become clear on screen, and I think I want that to be a little.
Okay.
I don't want to say what it is yet.
At the moment, what's right was getting Swimmer to go watch after.
I feel like it's very
Uset.
important to keep an eye on Uset, and and I think that that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
But we haven't seen exactly what's motivating that yet.
Cool. Then I think you should, yeah.
Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think heritage definitely came up here
You
with Maeve.
yeah, I was gonna say you got invited to the Brogan family breakfast.
Yeah. And I would like to push for 2, mainly because things are so much worse in that situation.
Well, and I
It
didn't,
wasn't like casual, like, oh, like,
and I didn't really like put a ton of weight behind it, but I meant to specify this more. But when you're normally you would have been like officer talk. That's how even your captain would have called you.
yeah.
And she put weight when she said Officer Brogan. Like there was tension there as well.
Uh-huh.
Like you need to, just like they were saying you need to show your allegiance to the family, she was also saying you need to show your allegiance to the blue goats, right? Like
Oh no, I was getting that message 100%.
right. And it was not just any old reason, it's because you're a Brogan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I feel like those are both instances of that.
I think Teller, if I was somebody else, Teller would have been a much easier person to mess with.
Yeah.
And that did not work out that way. So
There wouldn't have been personal consequences for it.
yeah. And then issues from my vice or traumas, no. Although, looking forward to my vice indulgement coming up. Especially, I heard this new melter thing sounds pretty good. Looking forward to that.
Fuck.
Base melter is the bomb.
Yeah.
Janice is a local. She probably knows where I can find those people who sell that drug.
She seems well connected.
I should definitely ask her about it.
All right, and then finally the unit,
Yeah.
which I always click on Uset when I mean to click on the unit. 'Cause it starts Uset starts with a U and the unit starts with a T.
It's true. We did not advance the progress of the mandate. Did we do any? We didn't do anything to enforce the law here either, really, did we?
Not really.
I don't think so.
Nope. We did contend with challenges above our current station.
That is true.
At least one, if
you-
not more than one.
You did it once with the Lord Governor, where you were like,
Yep.
"Nope.
No,
How about
let
I
me
write some nice
mollify this
letters?
dude.
Let me
Take one for
mollify
that.
this." And you took 7 stress for that.
No big deal.
Right.
A trauma. You took a trauma. is
I
what you-
took
you trauma.
paranoid.
Oh, you know, we never talked about how you. Oh, I guess the way you traumatized out was you were just like, I gotta. We didn't. I actually say how you're like taken out, but that's fine. You got taken off on a carriage.
Did my conversation with Slane count?
Well, so that's an interesting thing. Technically, he's lower tier than you,
Oh.
but he's higher in status in Coleridge than you are, right? Like,
I feel like I'm going to argue against myself. If it were experience for me, yes, but since it's for the crew,
Yeah.
no.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on a personal level, that was Jan putting her neck out.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
feel like he sits in the Slane sits in this weird space where technically the bosses are tier 2, but he's connected to all these like tier 4 and 5 people that he can like bring in this like heavy mojo not whenever he wants, but he has these like very strong contacts.
There's the threat of these other people backing him.
Right, and they're not like secret hidden backers. They're Roderick Dunville saying, "Get
Very
this
explicit.
shit."
It's
done,"
kind of
right?
like our inspector, actually. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you could say yes. Interacting with him is working above your tier.
I'll take XP because
All right.
hell yeah.
Fair enough.
Because also he's like, oh, what's the problem? You're like, the problem is the inspector, and he's like, okay, I'll take care of that problem, right? Like it
Yeah.
caused
Yeah.
you complications, right? It wasn't just you that suffered for that. In fact, I think you
It
suffered
was
less.
me. I suffered.
You literally suffered.
So did you already mark one for that, and then I just marked a second one, or did?
I didn't touch it. No, you're
I
good.
didn't
Okay.
touch it.
So I'm gonna mark a second one. We're one away from an advance.
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one?
We are
Dunville's lackeys. I think we may have developed a new reputation.
It's a bit murky.
What is it?
It depends on what we want to call it, because like among the blue coats, I think we maybe have.
We suddenly have this reputation of being a problem.
Yeah. The mandate is not just here to do Dunville's bidding. It turns out. What the fuck are they doing? Actually,
It's like a total fucking mess of.
Yeah. So is it?
maybe they're spies. Yeah, that's probably
This
going
is
too
like a
far.
rumor, more
Untrustworthy?
Yeah.
like unreliable, untrustworthy.
Right. I feel like untrustworthy it's not so much like you can't get stuff done, it's that they don't know whether or not they can trust you.
Disloyal, maybe even like no one. It's not clear who we're working for or why.
Sure. Yeah. I think anything uncertain alliance, like conflict of interest.
You're dancing around a certain tried and true phrase here, which is of us being a loose cannon.
Oh no! I've become what I've always hated.
I think it's less about the actions you take and more about where your allegiance is.
I kind of like untrustworthy because it's like it implies that people would be reluctant to put their trust in us. Like,
Yeah.
you
No
know,
one's gonna
tell us
stick their neck
what's
out.
yeah.
And we just like recently had a very public thing where we were backstabbing our own inspector. Like,
Yeah, like it has.
we're kind of a mess.
There are like problems in our house.
I
for
think
sure.
someone took that mess and got a little Bunsen burner and put it underneath it and warmed it up.
All right. Did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? I feel like
Of course.
2 times. So we got an advance and 2 XP left over.
Yeah, I think that's real for sure, Z's.
Do we have any feelings about which move to pick straight away?
I would like that dot.
Yeah, handpicked feels good.
Yeah.
It got said multiple times this session. I
I'm-
handpicked you. I said you were the finest, right? Like,
Let's do it.
like,
Yeah, that's
I
good.
would have loved to have a dot in assault. And I'll fucking take it now.
All right. We
oh,
get
McTacky suggested as a reputation untouchable, which is like
But
It's
in
also
the bad
good.
way.
in the
Yeah.
bad way.
Like, no, you don't want to touch that.
no, you don't. I think untrustworthy still holds, but that's a strong.
Untouchable is clever though. I like that. That's fun. All right, so it's +1 dot in assault, observe, or question,
Yeah.
up to a max of 3. So
I will take a single dot in assault.
I don't have anything in question. I might take question.
Now you're better at indulging your vice. You're better at resisting.
Better at a lot of
That's
things.
true,
Yeah.
actually. Well, no, I still have one in savvy. So.
Oh, he was talking to me.
I was talking about
Oh, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, she was real bad shape. when it
Having
came to
no dice under force was a problem this session.
That's
I'm
tough.
happy to solve.
That is tough.
Yeah, considering you've got a head wound in your shape.
I was like, this will be fun to have this be a problem for me. And I'm like, cool, okay, we've had our fun. Now I'm gonna like.
Well, and the worst part was that they cornered you in an alley alone, right? Like
Yeah.
who does that, right? That's unfair. That's
super unfair.
If
I
you
my
had your blue coats with you,
cronies to hide behind,
if you had your blue coats, they could have like helped you, but
except they won't now because they're convinced I'm a spy.
well, they're not wrong.
Well,
I mean, pertaining thereto, I've taken a dot and observe because I need to get in somebody's biz.
yeah, they're accidentally
Nice.
right, which doesn't make them right in a way that matters. They can't prove anything, and they don't know anything for sure. So
I'm coming for your receipts.
Right?
God, these motorcycles.
All right, I'm gonna take
Jeez.
question. I feel like Talk is like been he was questioned by everyone this session, Maeve
Yes,
and the
correct.
captain and other people, and he's like, okay, I get it. I can do that.
oh, you like trap them, but with words.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all we've got.
I think
We're
so,
ready.
too.
Ready for next time.
Ready for next
Another
time.
delightful session.
Next time will be after all the stuff happens in our lives that we have going on and our
Not just moving. So it's-
conventions and all kinds of crazy shit going
Yeah.
on. But we will be back. It's going to be a little bit of a break, but we will be back for part 3. Not too far from now, but
Right.
not next week, sadly. So
Sorry.
we'll let you know when it's happening. But
It'll be good. It'll be good. John, why don't you lead us out? Tell us all about yourself.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter, John_Harper here underneath me. If you want to talk on Twitter, Blades in the Dark is my game, and Sean and I and Andrew are working on stuff for Blue Coats, and
This thing right here. Yeah.
it's pretty cool. We're enjoying it so far. If you have any thoughts you want to share, feel free to hit me up. We will continue to share stuff as it's in place, but this is sort of a refining pass on some of the concepts here, and I'm really digging it. It's been really fun so far. This group is kind of a dream group for this, so that helps a lot. But it's good in the sense that the things that we want to do with this sort of story, like, we're able to get it done. And I was so happy when we actually got chewed out by our police captain tonight. Like, that needed to happen in the cop game. So that was especially great.
I rolled some unlikely traits for her, and at first I was like gonna throw them out, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna see how, like, one that's like not immediately gonna be like, you got, like a different take, and I enjoyed playing her as cooperative, and like looking for your investment in this. That was fun, actually, because I was like, yeah, I know, it's just something different.
Yeah, sometimes those random traits, that's how you just got to roll with it. It's good.
Yeah, just yeah, cool beans.
Awesome. Well, I'm Nacho Tikra, aka Trista Ray. You can find me at twitch.tv/Trista Ray, where I have been streaming very infrequently, and I'm about to drop off the map because I need to move to a different city in 10 days, God bless. But throughout that whole process, I will be tweeting every trial and tribulation. And you should follow me at Trist_CHI. I had some really good E3 tweet threads. Really proud of it. Put Reggie on the Switch. Just do it. We all know that Reggie needs to go on the Switch. It's only just. And yeah, that's it for me, I think. Yeah, I have some projects I can't talk about yet. So yeah. Secret stuff.
I'm Andrew. I don't have any secret projects. I have known projects like today I just sent off the hopefully last draft of my content for Hack the Planet, which is a climate fiction cyberpunk hack of Blades in the Dark by Fraser Simon that I have done 2 playbooks for. So that's cool. It's nice to get something off my plate to make way for all the other things I have going on. God. And you can follow me on Twitter at Commuting Crow or on twitch.tv/actualfactual.
If you go to Andrew's...
By Moonlight, it's a tragic magical girl hack of Blades in the Dark. It's pretty good. I'm working on that still.
Yeah, we played that last night, and
yeah,
the VODs for it are up now, and it was
magical girls and giant robots.
It's so sad. So many sads.
Yeah,
last night in particular.
Yeah, if you want to break from the crushing grind of feudo-capitalist society, oppressive government regime shit, and the heartbreak of a whole different sort, you can go play Girl by Moonlight.
Yeah. I'm Sean, the host here over at Actual Play. You can find me on Twitter at Sean Nittner, which has now been linked. I'm excited about some cons coming up. I'm going to Origins tomorrow. That'll be fun. And it'll be great, see a lot of cool people. But what I'm really excited about, even more so, is a month from then I'm going to go up to Go Play Northwest. All of these rad people will be at Go Play. We'll be playing tons of cool games. The forums for game signups are open now. You can still get a badge. Seriously, if you're in Seattle or anywhere where you can get there, you should come because it's the good times. So I'm excited about that. And that's it for me. I'll see all you guys after you get back from Origins.
Yep. Have a good time.
Thank you.
I'm jealous.
I'll be running this. I've got a Games of Demand slot where I'll be running Blue Coats. So
nice.
See how it goes in flesh. I had somebody who played at X Blue Coat last year at Origins when I was running Blades, and they're like, I want to come back and run that same character from before.
Wow. That's commitment.
Like, I can't believe you remember that, but awesome, yeah.
That's super cool.
So.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. And we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, metal.
Bye.